Do you know how to squat?
I know how to diddly squat.
Yo, what are you doing?
Diddly squat.
Yo, what you doing?
Diddly squat.
What are you doing?
I ain't doing crap.
Yeah, that's not really what I'm looking for.
Well, my bad. I only know how to calf raise.
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter anyways. Hey, wait a second.
Who said that?
I can teach you boys how to squat. Just act like you're sitting on a toilet.
I remember how to squat, man. I'll show you. Yeah, just like this, I'll show you.
Alright, I'll give that a try. You coming?
No, man. It'll just be like 5 minutes.
Alright, whatever. Warming up is very important when it comes to squatting. I'm ready to squat! If you think since I'm just squatting I don't really need to warm up, that's just kind of silly because it prevents injuries. It can also help soreness the next few days so that way you don't feel too sore after. So this is basically a general warm up I do some leg kicks, I do some body weight squats with the bar on my back, just feet in, feet out. Open up the hips, just kind of get everything moving, get the blood flowing really. After I do that, I go on to my roller here that my girlfriend got me, so if you don't have one of those, you got to get yourself one of those girlfriends, and then hopefully they buy you stuff like that as well. Then I have a normal foam roller as well, so I'll roll out the hamstrings, I'll roll out my quads, I'll roll out the glutes, I'll roll out the lower back, I'll also roll out my upper back. I just get everything feeling perfect. So here are the 8 things I follow when squatting. The first thing is the hand position. So you can squat with your hands approximately where you bench press at. For me, this isn't as comfortable. Some people move their hands just a touch in from where they bench press, and a lot of people find that's really comfortable. That's a funny photo. Personally, I like to keep my hands in pretty much as close as possible. So this way, my back is as tight as possible, and I just feel really confident and really sturdy with a lot of weight on my back when my hands are in really tight. Alright, so the next point is high bar or low bar squatting. A high bar squat is where the bar on your back is up higher up on your traps. Your elbows are in, your upper back is still super tight, and your squat basically looks more straight up and down. What I personally do is the low bar squat, which is where you can flare out your elbows to create a shelf on your rear deltoids. And then when you unrack it, you can bring your elbows back in so that way you can stay as tight as possible during the squat. Alright, so this leads to upper back tightness and the walkout. Your upper back has to be as tight as possible, so this way the weight feels lighter on your back, so that way in your mind the weight feels lighter, and then basically if it feels light, you're probably going to get the lift. The walkout should only be a few steps. It shouldn't be too exaggerated. You want to just get set, don't waste any energy. So this brings us to the sneaker position. The sneaker position is all pretty much up to you. You do want your toes pointed out a little bit, so that way it opens up your hips, that way when you get to the bottom of the squat your back isn't rounding and it's more comfortable to come up. There's wide stance squats, which limit the range of motion really, and then this is how I like to squat personally right here. This is basically if I were to jump as high as I can, this is how I would get the most power, so this is how I find I get the most power when I squat as well. This then leads us to breathing. It's important to take a deep breath.
So now we can actually squat. When you squat down, you actually want to start by bending your knees a bit and then sitting back into the squat. This way your back will stay straight throughout the whole movement and you can sit down at the very bottom comfortably. So if people tell you to act like you're sitting on a toilet, then you actually don't want to follow that advice, because if you sit on a toilet, you sit back too far, then your back rounds, and then you'll just wind up having a really awkward squat. So this is the moneymaker when it comes to squatting, is depth. Depth, a squat like that isn't really necessary when it comes to a competition or something like that. Of course it would count. In a competition, this is basically how you have to squat. Your hip joint has to be slightly below your knee joint in order for it to be a successful lift. These are the type of squats that you see in the gym often, so like just above parallel, and then there's the cheese squats, which is like kind of like that basically. I've had someone ask for a spot, he put on 4 plates and did that, and I didn't even know what to do. Spotting him like that is kind of weird.
So this is how you don't squat. So put it all together and hopefully you have something that looks like this. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I know you guys miss my beautiful face and voice, but I'm covering the next video on chest development. Bye guys.